Because I have my finger on the pulse of the comic book industry, I was like, oh, there's a new Justice League out. Yeah, actually, let me ask a question. How far away from actual Justice League members do you have to go until your comic book is no longer a Justice League book? I mean, right here we have disciples of everybody. Is this really a Justice League book today? I mean, we got two Teen Titans, Azrael holding what looks like Thundar the Barbarian's sun sword, and Jessica Cruz. Okay, she's a Green Lantern. I'll give it to you. Fine. But not exactly either John Stewart or Hal Jordan here. So, yeah, couldn't we... I mean, I understand you're kind of surfing on the name Justice League, but I don't know if I would call this a Justice League book with those characters. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Anyway, hey, true believers, Englentine here with a review of Justice League Odyssey #1. Oh, and let me say there may be spoilers ahead. I'll try to keep them to the minimum, but, you know, you can see some. And so anyway, the book starts up, and I got to say it grabs me right away. And that was kind of a surprise, because I picked this up going, really like my attitude was in the beginning. It's like, another Justice League, and it's C-list characters, to say the least. Yeah, I know Cyborg's in a movie and such like that, but really, he's a Titan, in my opinion. I think he works better as a Titan. I guess he's not C-list, though. Anywho, I was like, I had that attitude. Why? How far? How far away do we get from the Justice League while we could still call him Justice League? Anyway, but I grabbed it. I start reading. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really good. It's starting off really well here. And it's all about this. There are these worlds, and this one, she's got a Green Lantern ring and wearing kind of a sash and shirt that's got the Green Lantern symbol on it. And she's trying to get away because she has to get a message to the Guardians of the Universe about these worlds that have been hidden. And it's a very exciting scene. It's one of these scenes that Marvel tries to do as well, where it's like they'll have the opening gamut, and then it'll be a credits page, and then the real story. Well, the credits page just moves right on into the regular story here. And this one works a lot better than a lot of the other ones do. It does set up the story, and then, okay, and here we go. Brum, brum, this is the character we're going to follow. And it's Jessica Cruz, and she's in like this ghost zone because she thought it would be exciting, but then it turns out to be boring monitor duty style stuff, which I was like, wait a second, two things here. Who's that dude on the outside? And two, why is it that because you have superpowers you want to fight? People are still hitting you. You know, it's the whole thing, you know, Karate Kid. You learn how to fight so you don't have to fight. You know, I mean, I never knew a lot of... I've known a couple of policemen, and I never knew them to want to be shot at. You know, they don't mind the running and the tackling, though, so I guess, you know, that. But it's like, the other stuff, no, they would prefer not to be in it. It just seems weird to me that you get that from superheroes. And now if Tom King wants to write some book about superhero psychology, the desire to be in a fight all the time, that to me would be something worth exploring. What is it about superpowers that makes people more aggressive? You know, I mean, what is it that would be something. And so, yeah, that part about it kind of weirded me out. So anyway, she's doing her thing, and Brainiac's ship comes in, and she's like, oh my gosh, it's Brainiac. But then we find out it's actually Cyborg and Starfire. They came out here because Victor's been hearing the voices from the worlds that have been calling him, and he feels really guilty, and he wants to help them. And that's the premise, and that's the basic setup. Go. You know, I mean, it's really, once again, I've got to give it to the book. As much as I find some flaws with the book, I do have to applaud the fact that you get everything you need to know in about 4 or 5 pages, and then the rest can be character moments, and the rest can be action moments. And it holds you. It's good about it. So for as much as I was like, oh, gosh, well, I don't know if I want to get this. And, you know, I don't know if I want to go through this kind of thing. You know, just doesn't look exciting to me. When I was reading it, I was having a lot of fun. So I was kind of into it. And, oh, my gosh, is that Azrael? You know, because actually when I saw the first cover, the cover I got was the white one where he's holding the Thundar the Barbarian Sun Sword. When I saw that, I was like, is that Signal? Who is the... Because, okay, I didn't see the new design for Azrael. But, yeah, so I saw him, and I was like, Azrael. Huh. Okay. I'm not a big fan. Never have been a big fan of the John Paul Valley Azrael. Actually, of any of the Azraels. I just wasn't, guys. I'm sorry, but Sword of the Azrael I found was okay. Then the Nightfall thing was all right. And then they tried to give him his own series, and it looked so 90s. It was a combination of everything wrong with every 90s book. Oh, serious. But anyway, he actually turned out well here, and there's a series where he's like, so what were you thinking? Don't trust the robot. I was like, okay, yeah, that's good. I was like, okay, this is fun. This is a good story here. So, man, I don't know what else to say or much to say about this book. The art's pretty cool. I like the direction they're going with the characters. However, I would have liked to have seen Jessica Cruz actually arrest Cyborg and Starfire, because that was her job. She needed to do it. She even said, you guys are under arrest. So it would have been, yeah, it would have been a side note. It would have been a side quest. I don't know, but it would have been more in character, and we would have seen the Green Lanterns more effective. There are a few things that bother me about the Green Lanterns, and that's kind of one of them. Well, I know I'm doing my job, but because you're my friend from Earth, I'm not going to do this. I mentioned this a little bit with Hal Jordan and number 76. I would just like to see him say, look, I've got more responsibilities than just your planet, and it's just something that we have to handle. The other one is the fact that the Guardians of the Universe keep getting their asses kicked for someone who's supposed to be like super, super powerful. They just get smacked around. And they get smacked around to show how powerful they are. But anyway, back to this book. Entertaining, enjoyable, fun. Does it stick with you, though? That's the big problem. This might be like a stick of gum. You chew it until the flavor's gone, and then you toss it away. You know, because I don't know if this is a book that, even though I enjoyed it, I'm going to remember it tomorrow. And that could be the biggest flaw. Little side note here. Okay, I understand superheroes go out in space. But could we not have a sense of wonder for the ones that aren't usually in space? Now, Victor went to Starfire's home planet. Of course, I'm thinking Perez Wolfman years, so that might be retconned or anything, so I don't know. But how many times do you go to space before you lose your sense of wonder about it? How many times are you on a different planet? Like, I could go to Thailand and I'm like, oh, wow, that is weird. Oh, cool, that's pretty neat. I remember when I was in Thailand, there were these dragon lampposts. And they would actually have dragons around the street lights and everything. Not real dragons, of course. They saved that for the zoo. But there were these gold dragons on the street lamps and the lampposts and the lights and everything. It's just that. And everybody else is just, oh, well, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, that's really cool. This is really neat. Why are there pictures of the king every 5 feet? You know, it's just the little things you notice that everybody else is already done with. So, yeah, can't we get that kind of sense of wonder occasionally from a superhero when they go out into space? It would be, you know, I don't know, maybe a little bit more realistic, but that's just me. I'm a different breed of cat. Anyway, Justice League Odyssey, definitely worth the read. Check it out. I think you'll enjoy it, but you might not remember it.